wins. This is kind of a staple in strength programs.
Some of the gnarliest guys I've ever raced against.
You gotta scratch the itch, and for me, running does that.
You really got to lift some weight to get that back nice and strong.
What's up, guys? So I have a big week of training planned as we get ready for the Boston Marathon, but first I wanted to hop on here and say please stay tuned to the end of this video because we have a big announcement on the trail training front, so stay tuned. So we're here today in Rochester, Minnesota at the Soldiers Field track, and we're going to be doing 10 by 400 meters. So this is a good track workout for me. I feel like I need a little bit more foot speed, a little bit more leg turnover. And so we rounded up the boys to do some good quality 400 meters. I'm looking to do roughly about 75 seconds, 75 to 80 for each rep. And so keep in mind, I'm in the middle of an 80-mile week. So I'm going to be doing the workout today, which is Tuesday. And then I have another 5-by-mile repeat workout planned on Thursday. And then we're doing a long run on Saturday. And so this is a pretty big week, high volume week for me. And I'm trying to not just kill myself in these 400, so that way I can just get each day done for this week and get each workout done. And just, let's see, we're about 28 days to Boston. So looking for a good quality workout today. Just like pole, walk over that pole, and then walk through. It's about 2 minutes. Yeah, so it's a 2-minute walk. Rest.
Sorry, where are we starting?
Start right here, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Finish, and then
Start and stop, and then we just walk.
Walk around to that pole,
yeah.
start jogging, and then, okay.
Yeah. That was about a perfect minute.
Sounds good.
All right, how's everybody feeling?
Good. I just hope I don't try to go too fast.
Feel free to do 10 or 5, or, you know, we're just happy to have
12.
you here.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. I might shorten the recovery and do more. But slower. Mostly so I can get out of here sooner. I got a 1:30 meeting, so
Everybody's got a meeting.
We'll see if I make it.
lead the way out.
I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, dance.
So real quick right here, Rick Curtis, Ragnarok 2024, and soon to be Med City half participant.
Participant or
2025.
champion?
Could be a champion.
Why would you race if you're not going
Why
to
are we
win?
out here if he's not going to be a champion?
Med City, maybe. Probably not, but
40 is the new 20.
40. I wish I had a train.
I can make you a t-shirt.
Dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance. Nobody's watching me.
nothing like some 400s in the middle of an 80-mile week.
Couch to 400, is that a thing?
Man, Rick's just coming off the couch.
I'm in the middle of how many miles have we run so far?
Ben's coming off a Florida vacation.
Florida vacation. We got shorts on in Minnesota. That's a bonus.
Hey, you know you're true Minnesotans. Every single person here has shorts, and it's 40 degrees.
We'll take it.
all
And the
of a
track
sudden,
is no longer an
sunburn
ice sheet.
too.
We got some nice.
I mean, I had a coat on in warm-up, but I felt like soft, like a failure. Good day for a track workout. So we're 9 in the bag, 1 left. 28 days to Boston.
You gonna open this one up at the end here, Alex?
I might, I don't know, we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see. Depends if I puke up the water I just drank. For P9 on the Strava leaderboard, for the 111.
We'll get 7.
I've been trying to cope since you ran away. I've been feeling lost, I've been feeling pain. And no matter what I do, I just feel like I do what I do for you. I tried to call the doctor, it didn't help. Took a trip out to the sun to revive myself. No matter what I do, I just feel like I do what I do for you. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance.
All right, that's a wrap on the track workout. Pretty much all of them were between 78 to 72, and then we actually popped off a 68 second in the last one, so I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna go check the Strava leaderboard, see if I moved up from P9 in the local leaderboard. But yeah, all in all, good session. Ben and Rick and the boys, everybody was representing, doing well, and yeah, good day. Good morning. Today is Wednesday and we're getting out nice and early this morning. Actually not that early, it's almost 8 o'clock. Getting out for a 10 miler, nice and easy. This will give us 30 miles on the week so far. Body's a little sore, a little tired from that track workout yesterday, but yeah, no, felt good. Leg speed is kind of better than I thought, honestly, considering I haven't been doing a lot of speed. I wanted to give you guys a brief recap on the Berkey ski race, which was 2 weeks after the Mesa, Arizona Marathon. I was able to get on the skis like 3 times before that. And so yeah, for those of you that are not familiar, American Birkebeiner ski race is one of the biggest ski races in North America. And it happens just about 3 hours from me in Wisconsin. And yeah, so it's 33 miles. It's a ton of elevation gain. I think it was over 3,000 feet. And I was definitely very ill prepared for this ski race. I've never done a ski race in my life, but it was just something I really wanted to do as part of this year's Berkey, Boston, Leadville kind of trio for endurance races. And so the first step obviously was Berkey. And I've spent the first probably 6 or 8 miles like learning how to ski, literally. And then I feel like I got the hang of it and ended up finishing in 4 hours 20 minutes, and honestly had an absolute blast. Gave me a new respect for cross-country skiing. I did classic, so I was in the tracks, and yeah, it was such a cool event, cool vibe. People from all over the world that came to this race. I think there was almost 15,000 skiers or something, so I mean, it really was a very special event to be a part of. So that's the Berkey recap.
Yeah.
right, rep 1. Here we go. Beautiful day. Let's go. All right, so we don't know the pace that we're going for. Between 5:50 to 6 maybe. Marathon pace is 6:15. So we're just gonna throw it out there that the Boston goal, 2:42. We met 2:45 in Arizona, so we're going for 2:42 in Boston. The course is slower, it's gonna be tougher, but gotta aim high.
And I go far.
Yep.
That was quick. Still.
5:39.
Yeah. 40 something.
Not bad. Way faster than last year.
Oh, you're hurting, but
No pain, no gain, baby.
that's it.
Oops. Bah.
What is the normal ingestion rate for energy blocks for geese?
Yeah, for geese. I don't know, but that one's got double caffeine, so if that geese eats it, if the geese eat it, they're gonna be, yeah, they're pinging. All right, 10 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna be honest, I was definitely really nervous for this workout. I feel like for both workouts this week, both the track workout on Tuesday and then today's Thursday mile repeats, I just felt like kind of crappy and sluggish and real fatigue coming in. And I feel like usually that's just your mind kind of trying to save up some energy before you hammer down. I did feel like that in the supercross days and motocross days. But having said that, this for me was a really good test to see where my fitness was at. And I was really pleasantly surprised. I don't know if I've ever done consistent like 5:30 miles, 4-mile repeats. Maybe back in like my high school days, but regardless, yeah, I was able to pound out a 5:37 first mile, 5:39 second, 5:39 for the third, and then the fourth was a 5:34. And then I was able to finish that last rep with a 5:25, and that definitely was tough. Like I was suffering, but I wasn't like absolutely on the limit, like I kind of thought I would be for a 5:25. So this really tells me that I'm really happy with the current fitness level, and being, you know, X amount of days out from Boston, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. And yeah, this was definitely a really good workout. Oh. 5:25 on that last one.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Hang on to right around 6.
I got squeaked out 5:25.
Yeah, I felt like you were pushing it there.
Yeah.
I was gonna yell at you, hurry up. You're too far away.
The Wolf Monster, he used to show up like 10 years ago. He started showing up to Millville with a ghillie suit on, and a chainsaw with a horn at the end of it. And he would sit in the whoops all day long and just hold the chainsaw wide open and like waving a bell in his ghillie suit.
That's great. Yeah, we need to either bring him back or get somebody to do that.
Today's Friday, just got back from a 10 miler. Honestly, didn't feel like filming much today. It's been a long week, put in a lot of miles, and we still have the 20 miler tomorrow. So I was just kind of enjoying the scenery without filming. But having said that, before we get to the rest of these dishes, I wanted to share with you guys the big announcement because I honestly just can't wait any longer. I want to get it out there. So without further ado, let's check it out.
Alex Martin going to grab the whole shot of the 30. This could be it. Alex Martin with that pass will have the overall if he can hang on to it. And none other than his brother Alex. So big Alex Martin across the trust.
All right, so as you can tell, I am super excited about this partnership with Garmin. To have Troll Training be partnering with a company like Garmin is a really big deal, and I'm super excited that they're interested in getting into the motocross space. I think the motorsports market is a really untapped market for a company like Garmin, and I'm excited to see what it'll do for them in the future. And to be a part of it, it's really cool. So we're going to be able to offer a 35% discount to our athletes. This is an exclusive discount that's only available for Troll Training athletes. There is a host of sponsors that are a part of Troll Training that if you're a part of our program, you get access to these exclusive discounts. These are all companies that are a part of Troll Training, so please support the companies that support Troll Training. I appreciate it. Getting into the data side of things, tracking data was always something that I was really a firm believer in, probably the last 12 years of my career. Honestly, most of my career, I always wore a heart rate monitor and tracked almost every single dirt bike session and every single run, bike ride, rowing, skiing, strength, whatever it was. I really find that having that data and tracking that data, it really helps make better decisions with your training long term. Alright, so as we get into this 20-mile long run Saturday, I wanted to touch a little bit on a topic that I've been thinking about all week long, and that is fatigue. So this is a big one for marathon training, and I feel like as it relates to motocross as well, I can really touch and maybe provide some insight into this topic of fatigue, just simply because it's kind of a necessary component of training. You're going to feel fatigued, and I will preface this by saying that for the last, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years, I've always been a big proponent of checking resting heart rate and HRV. It's something I do every morning, cup of coffee, check out my stats, whether it's Oura Ring or now with my Garmin, I'm always tracking HRV and resting heart rate. And as a general rule of thumb, if my resting is between 6 and 7 beats higher than my baseline, I typically will revise my training for the day. And then also for my HRV, like if that's 20 or more points lower than my baseline HRV, I'm definitely like considering I'm either sick or definitely going to be changing up the day's training. So those are some metrics that I really pay attention to for my training. Fatigue is something that I've been thinking a lot this week about how fatigue with marathon training translates to fatigue with motocross. And I do feel like, and let, you know, feel free to hop in on the comments and let me know what you think of my thought process when it comes to this. But as a motocross athlete, to be at the highest level in the sport, you have to be training 2-3 times a day. You have to be riding the dirt bike 3 to 4 times a week. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of training. And I would say that on average, you're doing probably between 9 to 12 hours a week of training as a high-level motocross and supercross athlete. And that involves, you know, hopping on an airplane, flying across the country on a Thursday or Friday, you're racing Saturday, you're flying back Sunday, and then you're training all week long. So 9 to 12 hours seems to be the normal range there. And then in the off season, motocross athletes are typically having between 15 to 20 hour weeks is kind of your boot camp type of season to get ready. So in regards to marathon training, my thought process has kind of been, I genuinely feel like, you know, genetics aside, I genuinely feel like you can train about an hour a day during the week and maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours on the weekend, long run, and you could whittle yourself down to be a sub 3 hour marathon runner. I do feel like now, having run a 2:45, I look at my training for the 2:45 marathon I ran in Mesa just a couple months ago, and I don't feel like it was anywhere near as gnarly or much training as when I was racing as a professional dirt bike racer. Having said that, if you look at my mileage of kind of averaging between 60 to 80 miles a week, I'm not really training more than 10 hours a week. So I guess that's kind of my thought process when it comes to fatigue and just the volume for marathon training and how it translates to motocross. I do feel like fatigue is kind of a necessary component to training, and just because you're fatigued doesn't mean you need to stop training. I think you need to embrace the fatigue. And it really comes back to, like, if you want to accomplish your goals, like if you have physical goals, whether it's a 5K, half marathon, making it to Loretta Lynn's, whatever your goals are, I think that you have to embrace the fatigue. You have to be smart, obviously, and prioritize rest, nutrition, supplements, recovery, that sort of thing. But I think that embracing that fatigue is a necessary part of any training program. And I do think that the monotony, I mean, honestly, to be training 10 to 15 hours a week or whatever, it's boring. You know, there's a lot of boredom that comes with training that much and training that many hours. But I think you have to somehow, you know, wrap your mind around that. And I think that if you can do that, I think that it'll go a long way. All right, today's Sunday, and I finally made it through the week, 80 miles, getting ready for my first ever Boston Marathon, so I'm very excited about it. I hope you guys enjoy the content, as I did a little bit of suffering this week with 400 meters on Tuesday and the mile repeats Thursday. Long run Saturday. It was a big week. I'm pretty smoked. Fatigue is definitely the name of the game. But like I said, it's kind of a necessary evil. And I appreciate you guys watching this content, and we'll see you in the next one.